Once there was a powerful king who was respected by all, but he carried a secret that caused him great shame. He had donkey ears. To hide this from his subjects, he always wore a large, elaborate crown, or a heavy turban that covered his head completely. Only one person in the entire kingdom knew the truth, the royal barber. Every time the king needed a haircut, the barber was summoned under heavy guard. Before the scissors even touched a hair, the king would threaten the barber. If you ever breathe a word of what you see to a living soul, it will be your head. For years, the barber kept the secret, but the weight of it began to make him sick. His stomach began to swell, because he was full of words he couldn't speak. He became restless and pale. Finally, a wise old woman told him, "If you cannot tell a person, tell the earth. It will take your burden." The barber ran deep into the forest where no one could hear him. He dug a deep hole in the ground, leaned over, and whispered as loud as he could, "The king has donkey ears. The king has donkey ears." He then filled the hole with dirt and walked home, feeling light and healthy again. Time passed, and a thick patch of reeds grew over the spot where the barber had buried his words. One day, a young flute maker passed by and cut some of those reeds to make flutes and whistles. When he took his new instruments to the village market and began to play, the flute didn't produce music. Instead, it sang out in a clear, melodic voice. "I have a secret nobody should hear. The king's great head has a donkey ear." The news spread like wildfire. Soon, the whole kingdom was singing the song. When the king heard it, he was furious and summoned the barber to be executed. However, a wise elder stepped forward and said, "Your Majesty, you cannot execute the wind or the reeds. The truth is like the sun. You can hide it for a while, but it always rises." The king realized that his people didn't care about his ears, they cared about his leadership. He finally took off his crown, showed his ears to the public, and found that his people loved him just the same. He spared the barber, and from that day on, he ruled with nothing left to hide.